99% of men do not know this about t-shirts. And the detail I'm about to talk about makes a big difference in how the shirt fits in the torso. So whether you got six-pack abs or you're carrying a keg, you want to pay attention here. The detail I'm talking about is the shirt's hem. Now, commonly we're going to see 4 types of hems: straight, curved, split, and elongated. The straight hem is the most common, it's the classic look, and it works relatively well for most body shapes, especially the dad bod. And that's because it's a relaxed fit that gives you a little bit more room in the torso. Now, if you're in really good shape, you're going to want to look at the curved hem, and that's because this design helps to eliminate bunching around the midsection. Also, if you've got a significant drop, that's where your chest is larger than your waist, this particular hem is great at accentuating an athletic build. Now, what if you've got some curves? You've got wider hips, or maybe you spend a lot of time in the gym and you love the squat rack. Now, a curved hem can work, but a split hem may be even better for you. Because of this division of the front and back of the shirt at the base, you've got a lot more room around the hips and the shirt can just simply lay properly. And what if you've got a longer torso or you're over 6'2"? Well, the common problem here is that most t-shirts aren't made to accommodate a torso of this length. So that's where an elongated hem is perfect. With this shirt, you can raise your arms above your head and not worry about exposing your midsection. Now, gents, I'm sharing all that with you because the reality is a lot of guys are wearing their t-shirts wrong. And by that, I mean that they could choose a style or a fit that would suit them better and have them looking better if they understood these details. Let's take, for example, the neckline. Now, the majority of shirts sold out there are crew necks. Now, that particular style is classic, and for most body types, it's going to work well. And the reason it works well, in case you're wondering, is a crew neck is actually going to widen the appearance of the shoulders. For most of us, me included, this is a great thing. But if you've got a 21-inch neck, if you've got shoulders that are so wide, you've got to turn sideways to go through a door, well, a more flattering neckline for you is going to be the V-neck, or going with a classic Henley. You see that V right there in the front, that line that goes right there is going to draw attention, and it's actually going to make your neck look longer. This in turn makes you look more proportioned and attractive. Now, gents, today's video is sponsored by my friends over at Cuts. When it comes to high quality t-shirts and the perfect fit, Cuts is the company you want to look to. Seriously, gents, all the t-shirts in my collection have come from Cuts, and I've been talking about this brand for years because I love what they do. When you go over to their website, you're going to see a wide selection of high quality t-shirts, Henleys, long sleeve t-shirts, long sleeve Henleys, polos, hoodies, joggers, basically foundational wardrobe pieces for the modern man that wants to dress casual yet sharp. So when it comes to building an interchangeable casual wardrobe, that's what I love about Cuts. They've got everything you need to be able to put together some great outfits. And something I like to geek out about is the quality of their materials. First up, when you touch the fabrics, they're buttery soft. Next up, they got a 4-way stretch, they're wrinkle resistant, and they maintain their shape after being washed multiple times. And if you don't believe me, gents, go over to the website. Look at all the reviews they've got. Guys are just raving about the quality, about the fit, about the look of these shirts. I have to say personally, I love their AO joggers, the Icon pants, the AO5 pocket pant is really good, and their Cos shorts with a 7-inch inseam have become my new favorites because of the lightweight material and just the overall feel and look. They're really nice. So gents, if you're just looking for a new t-shirt or you want to level up your casual wardrobe, you need to go check out Cuts. I'm linking to them down in the description with the best deal you're going to find on the web. Seriously, gents, use that link. Go take advantage of this deal. It's not going to be around forever. I really like this company. I wear their clothing. I know a lot of you guys want casual clothing that's going to actually look good. Cuts is the company you've been looking for. Again, use that link in the description of today's video. Go check them out. Awesome company. Now, before we go any farther, I first want to cover the basics: fit, fabric, and function. This is my style pyramid in which if you hit each of these, you are always going to be appropriately dressed. Now, when it comes to t-shirts, making sure it fits you properly is the #1 key to making sure that shirt looks good on you. It sounds obvious, but so many times we compromise. We find a shirt that's on sale, it's close, or we already have shirts in our wardrobe, brands and sizes we're used to, but our body has changed. Now, gents, you're a smart guy. You know wearing a t-shirt, especially without a jacket or an overshirt, there is nowhere to hide. By that, I mean if you don't have a good fit, everyone's going to be able to see. And normally with a piece of clothing, I would say know the name of your tailor, take it to get adjusted, but t-shirts, there's only so much you can do here. And the cost usually makes it prohibitive unless you're making the adjustment yourself. Adjusting the width of the sleeves or the length of the shirt being the exceptions here. So when it comes to fit, as you can see from the image here, a good fit versus a bad fit makes or breaks the outfit. So when you're choosing a t-shirt, the area that's not going to get adjusted, the shoulders. You got to make sure that the shoulder points on the t-shirt match your shoulder points. If we don't have a good fit here, don't even consider wearing this t-shirt. Next up, you want it to fit in the chest. About 1.5 to 3 inches of excess room is all you need. Next up, we've got torso, and this really depends on your body type. Now, personally, in the torso, I like a shirt to have about 2 inches of room, give or take an inch. And now let's talk about length. When untucked, a t-shirt should go about 2 inches below your waistline. If you're 5'8" or below, this can be a little bit bit less. If you're 5'9" or above, you may want to go a little bit more. In any case, try to buy a shirt that fits you right here, but if you've got a t-shirt that you absolutely love, making the hem shorter is a relatively easy fix. Making it longer, impossible. And for the sleeves, I do think they look better when they touch the arm, and tightening them up is a relatively easy fix. Next up, let's talk about function. Is the clothing you're wearing appropriate for the situation? Now, the reality, t-shirts, they're always casual. They've got their origins in underwear. Yeah, t-shirts originated as undershirts that were worn under a dress shirt that had a collar. The idea here is those undershirts would actually enhance the life of the more expensive dress shirts. About 150 years ago, the t-shirt started to be mass manufactured, and because it was relatively inexpensive, it eventually slipped into workwear, especially in the military, because if you got to go up there and swab the deck, you don't want to be wearing your nice uniform. So a pair of trousers and a t-shirt if you're on the work detail, well, those habits stuck around, and by the 1950s, the t-shirt had made its way into civilian wear. Think Marlon Brando and the Wild Bunch, the t-shirt with the leather jacket, and by the 1970s and 1980s, you got the graphic tee making its rounds. I share all this with you because you may think you look great with that black t-shirt, black pants, black boots, but unless it's an ultra casual wedding, you want to pay attention to dress codes, which usually call for shirts that have a collar. That being said, if it's a really nice t-shirt, you own the company, you want to match it with a blazer or a sports jacket, or you're a rock star on the red carpet, basically if you've got the confidence or in a position of power, you can wear whatever you want. But for the rest of us, in most situations that you're encouraged to dress up, a t-shirt probably is not the choice you want to go with. Now let's talk about fabric. That's the material the shirt is made from, and I think the biggest mistake here is that most men have no understanding of it at all. And if they do, they think 100% cotton is the only way to go. Now gents, don't get me wrong, I love 100% cotton, but in a t-shirt, it's got limitations. Most notably, when wearing cotton, it stretches, and it doesn't return to its original shape unless exposed to heat. Also, fabrics like polyester used to have a bad association because of poor manufacturing practices, but gents, in the last 30 years, they've made a lot of advancements, especially when it comes to performance fabrics. These are sports shirts made from mostly polyester that are made to wick away moisture, be able to stretch in multiple directions, and be antibacterial. So having said all that, what's the best choice here? It really comes down to what do you want from the shirt. If I want a shirt that's got a bit of stretch, I'm gonna look for a little bit of spandex so the collar goes right back to its original shape when I pull it over my head. If I want something that's gonna stretch, not gonna pill, is gonna be breathable, a fabric that's gonna drape well, I'm looking for a little bit of polyester. And if I want something to bring it together that gives it that elegant type of look, I'm going to look for cotton. So in this case, a tri-blend fabric is perfectly fine. Now I mentioned graphic tees. I don't want to beat up on them too much, but I do think that if you are a mature man, you're over the age of 25, you should probably put away the graphic tees and just get back to classic shirts in a variety of colors. I also try to stay away from big logos unless I'm getting paid by the brand. And in general, patterns and designs can be a little bit too much, so stick with solid colors. Black and white are great staple colors to have in your wardrobe. If you find that you're really warm toned like me, you may want to look for grays, charcoal grays in particular, medium grays, navy blues. If you like earth tones, dark greens, beige, tan. Heck, I'll even throw maroon in there, which is one of my favorite colors. As for the brighter colors, you know, if it works with your skin tone, you got a darker color, you want to go with one of those brighter ones, I think that that's perfectly fine. But understand those brighter colors in general are going to make the shirt even more casual. Now, what about matching colors? So the simplest way to explain this is you have monochromatic looks and you have contrast looks. If you're in great shape or you want to draw attention to a particular part of the body, contrast looks are great. If you're carrying a little bit more weight around the midsection, if you want someone's eyes to go up and down when they look at your outfit to give you a more slimming profile, then making sure your shirt has low contrast with your trousers is a great choice. Now, how to mix and match color combinations? Well, guys, I got you covered right here with this video in which I go into detail on that particular subject. So gents, check it out right here. Solid video on mix and matching your colors, especially for warm weather. Boom, right there. Oh yeah, got you covered.